Cool. Hey, welcome back to Set the Pipe. I am Sully, and with me, CK, Bear, DDT on the East Coast. Bringing in a new, this is actually a first for us, guys. I don't know if you guys knew that. This is our first active college player that we're bringing on Set the Pipe. We want to welcome Christian Schaefer, D3 NCAA Player of the Year, National Champion. How does that sound, Christian?
Sounds great.
Congratulations, and thanks for taking the time to join us.
Man.
Absolutely. Really appreciate you taking the time to Set the Pipe. For all you listening, hit subscribe. Great little story for you here. D3 National Champion and Player of the Year. So again, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Big deal as far as we're concerned. DDT Dave DeTinley actually sought out Christian. So Dave, we're going to hand the baton to you, and you can give all the accolades about our boy here, Christian. Christian, you get to sit back, relax, listen to all
it's
the
long.
accolades, my
Trust
friend.
me. We had Peterson on here the other day, and I had to take a breath. So this rivals his. So all right. So Sully mentioned Christian is the 2025 AVCA NCAA Division III Men's Player of the Year, the 2025 Frog Jump Outside Hitter of the Year. Oh, I love this one because this is Coley doesn't get to say this all by himself now. 3-time AVCA First Team All-American.
Welcome to great company, Christian. I was there before you were born years ago. But yeah,
here we go. I had to poke the bear.
It's great to have someone join me. It's great.
2025 AVCA Region 3 Player of the Year, 2025 Continental Volleyball Conference Player of the Year, 2024 CVC Continental Volleyball Conference Player of the Year, and AVCA Regional Player of the Year. Frog Jump Preseason All-America First Team, multiple CVC Player of the Week honors. Guys, I will say this. We'll save some of the broader metrics for later, but so Christian is part of the 100-win club. If I counted these up right, Christian, in your 4 years, 101 and 11. 101 wins over your 4 years with only 2 losses in the last 2 seasons.
Wow, congratulations.
And something fun that popped up when I searched on you, if you don't mind. The subject of the King block that broke the internet YouTube video. Shout out to Mitch Sturkenberg for posting that. So welcome Christian Schaefer to the podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
What's your normal ask, man?
Come on.
Well, I just got to see, how does it feel to listen to all that, Christian? You've been playing volleyball for a long time, like a lot of us. You were a little kid growing up. Now you're sitting back. It's been a few weeks or 2 weeks or so since you've won it. How does it feel to hear all that? I mean, just the accolades from All-Americans to Players of the Year to finally, getting, a national championship and whatnot.
It's just, it feels good to, take a step back and be like, wow, I've accomplished a lot. I've met a lot of people and a lot of great people along the way. And now I can say I've met all 3 of you guys. So it's a great feeling. Four? There's 4 of you guys?
Yeah. It happens. It's hard we've got technical difficulties, but it's great.
Just
4 or 5.
go with it.
Yes.
All right.
We'll let it
Well, 4 of you guys.
It's okay.
No.
But, yeah. And I've started my process to try to go to the professional world. And I talked to this one guy who was like, give me a profile of everything. And I was like, man, I got to go back and go in detail of all I've accomplished, the awards. But it feels good to
I'll
sit
send
back
you this after this if you want it. I got it.
Oh, sweet. That'll be great.
So go ahead, Sully.
Yeah. So who'd you reach out to? And an agent?
Yeah. So my teammate Christo Biancan, he gave me one of his best recruiters, best agencies, and it's out of Brazil right now. But I'm hoping to play in Europe. But after my interview, I had an interview with him, I think on Monday, so just yesterday. And he was like, so I think you should play in Brazil for 1 or 2 years, and then we can look to get you in Europe somewhere. So,
why would you prefer Europe over Brazil?
I had the opportunity to go on a D3 select team this past summer to Brazil, and it was amazing. I'm not choosing one or the other. They're both amazing places, but I want to experience Europe no matter where I go. I just want to experience that. And because I already experienced Brazil, I want to experience Europe and see which one fits me better.
Yeah. You had CK went over to Europe and Bear went to France. So you got a couple guys. I was wondering, Holy, is TK is.
That was my first thought. So,
Yeah.
Christian, we can talk after. We know a few people in the volleyball world and some folks that still have gotten players over there back when we played all the way till these days, does a lot of different things. So I'll reach out to him and see if he's still doing that. If he is, which I'm assuming he will, we can, DTT and myself can get in touch with you, because that's great that you want to do that. I mean, that's your goal. Was that always your goal as a little kid when you first started playing volleyball, to be a pro? Or was it just now pro indoor, pro beach, or was it just how you give us the whole story of you growing up and falling in love with the sport and getting a chance to
wait. I got to preface this, Christian, because with all the accolades, and trust me, I fanboy on you all year long. I got to see you three times. My son played against you at Eastern Mennonite, so we got to see you there. Yeah. So, and then we went to the finals and the semis. But I mean, when looking for you, I was looking for how many times did you go to the national championship, either AAU or USAV? In Prevail, right? Is that your club that you grew up in? Yeah. I was looking at NTDP lists. I was looking for rosters. Yeah. I'm going to say, Christian, you're hard to find. How's that? And so here you are out of Palmyra, Pennsylvania, if I said that right, to now Player of the Year in Division III. So this story I got to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear it. Not just Player of the Year, DTT. He's been a 3-time first-team All-American. So it's not like he just showed up.
That's what I mean.
His senior year and just decided to have
rise.
One great year. Yeah, like it's been going for a while here. So yeah, Christian, we'd love to hear it. Like Pennsylvania kid. Hey. How did volleyball fall into the love for you and to want to be a pro to where you're sitting today?
Okay. So let's take it back all the way to elementary school. It's where I first started playing.
Wow, really?
My father, who's actually the owner of Prevail Volleyball Club, he started the Prevail Club to get my sisters playing. I'm a child. I'm one of 5 others. So I'm the youngest, and my dad started the Prevail program back in 2010, and just to get my sisters in, my eldest. And then the next, it's just going down. And we only started the boys program in 2013. And one of my first years playing, I was in elementary school playing against the middle schoolers at Spooky Nook. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that.
Yeah. Yep. I know that.
And man, I was terrified. But my dad was like, you know what? You're going in. I don't care what you say. And at the time, I was a libero, so I practically did nothing. But I was terrified going against these middle schoolers. But now, I run camps over the summer with middle schoolers, and I'm like, I was scared of these guys, but that's it.
I remember.
But anywho, so that's when I first started, and at the time, we only had like 2 age groups for boys. So I was playing, I was in middle school, and I'm playing against 16-year-olds, high schoolers, because that's the only option I had. So all my life, I've been kind of playing up to the level of other people, but once I got to the age of 13, 14, I started playing with my age group a little bit more. And I mean, that's when I sprouted, and the growth of volleyball was great. But I played other sports. I played basketball, which I
was about to ask you that. So did you played other sports growing up?
I did. I played football. I was a quarterback. That's pretty good.
Me too.
Oh my God.
It's weird.
Here we go.
A lot of similarities. Quarterbacks, 3-time All-Americans.
I'll send you his email after this.
How's your ankles? Your ankles okay?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about that. Checking.
I'll get to that.
Oh, it's got a story.
Goodness.
But when I played football and I was a quarterback, I just kept getting hit in the knees. And there's one the last year I played, my knee was twice the size of the other one. So I was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then basketball is all right. I'm not this spectacular player. I knew how to play, but I wasn't very good. But volleyball just stuck with me. I have a very unique build. I'm very tall, long, and volleyball just kind of fit well with what I had to offer. But out of high school, I had a decent high school experience. I started out as a freshman, a freshman setter on varsity. And at the time, my dad started the girls' high school program at Palmyra, and then he also started the guys' program. So I was very fortunate to have my father as my coach, but unfortunate because, he was hard on me.
He's your father.
He's my father, and he was hard on me, which, looking back, and I'm like, looking back, I'm like, you know what? I'm thankful. I'm thankful for it. But
Sure.
It's tough going through it though.
Yeah.
It's got to be
It
tough.
is.
We've all
It
done that.
is.
We've all had our
Yeah.
We've all
as
been
coaches,
there,
yeah.
and I was the same way with my oldest son, and
yeah,
But like you said, look where you're sitting now, and
exactly.
maybe some of it could have been a little different, but at the same time, you know,
No.
you have that resilience, you have that fortitude, and your dad put you in a position for you for success, and obviously you
Exactly.
earned it, and you did everything to do it. But that's
Yeah.
cool that you got to experience that with him.
Yeah. And I mean, the same goes with my brother. He's 2 years older than me. So in high school, you know, I played with him for 2 years, and then in college, I played with him for 3 years. But the funny thing about him was in high school, I was his setter, and boy, was he hard on me. He would hound me, but the roles flipped in college where he was my setter, and I got to kind of bicker at him a little
Get,
bit.
you get all
get
those
paid
years
back.
of repressed
Exactly.
feelings.
That's great.
Exactly.
So awesome.
But yeah, so I was a setter my freshman year, and then I switched to middle because that's when I started to get my little growth spurt. I went from like 5'10" freshman year to 6'3" my sophomore year.
Oh,
So I had a little bit of a jump, and then even more of a jump going into my junior year, and that's where I reached 6'5". So, you know, I had a good little growth spurt throughout the years, but and then my junior year got cut short because of COVID. That kind of sucked. But then my senior year, I was full-time outside, which that's where I kind of just kept going, where, you know, I knew how to play the game. I was good at hitting, and I just got better as the years went on. But, you know, everybody's goal out of high school is to play D1. I was the same way. I applied to George Mason, and I talked to Coach, I think his name is Hosak, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I talked to him, and I emailed him, but I was a little late, so my athletic risk would have been very high. I don't think I would have made the team, and I wasn't going to go to college without playing volleyball. At that time, my brother, Tyler, he already transferred to Southern Virginia University. He went to Penn State Altoona his freshman year. He had a decent experience. You know, he was a starter. He was a captain as a freshman. So he got good experience, but he just wasn't loving it there. So Coach Tom and John reached out to him from Southern Virginia, and he went, and that was the year that they went to the Final Four. And my senior year, I went on a visit to Southern Virginia, and I practiced with the team for probably like 40 minutes. And afterwards, I went to my brother. I was like, "Yep, I'm coming here.
Done."
Yeah.
Done deal."
That's awesome.
I didn't care about academics. I mean, I'm a good student. Like, I get my work done, but I didn't care.
You just loved everything about the experience with the fellas.
Exactly. And that was done deal. After, I was like, "Yep, I'm coming here." And then later on, 2021 fall, I found myself at Southern Virginia.
Wow. Just let me stop for a second there. Just you go on a recruiting visit, your brother's there, you play, you're not sure, you want to play D1, you're doing all these things, you get a chance, and you fall in love with it. 4 years later, you're a national champion, you're a 3-time All-American, and you got to experience that for 4 years at that university, playing with your brother, playing for an amazing coach that all of us played. He coached against us.
That's awesome.
he did.
Back in he did. He coached against us all. And wow, just kudos to you. Exciting. That's great that you were able to find the right fit and thrive in it. It's a lost art in today's your generation of college athletes to do what you did and have that kind of experience for 4 years. So tell us about, like, you wanted to play D1 and you played D3, and we all know, especially with having Dave on here and following it along way more in detail now than we ever have, the levels pretty elite. And as many coaches from the D1 on down have said, it's really not that far of a gap between the two. When I say the two, meaning Division 1 and 3, Division 2 is kind of lumped in there, as you know, with D1. So, you know, how was it for you to play all those teams for all those years and the D3 community of volleyball?
I think the D3 community is very special. Personally, I think like D1, it's like a job. It's very similar to a pro team where you live, eat, breathe volleyball 24/7. Academics is on the side. Of course, you're a student athlete, but volleyball is very important.
Right.
And you do have that importance in D3, but I think you get a lot more experience of the university, of the people around you in the D3 world. Like at Southern Virginia, I've met some incredible people, really incredible people, and I was able to get a lot more out of it, not just volleyball wise with all the accolades, but like with the people that I met along the way, professors, administration, teammates. I think you just get a more wider variety of experiences.
Hey, can you go into a little bit about your relationship with Coach Peterson?
Sure.
Yeah.
Obviously it's good. We've built a very strong connection with each other, and I'll tell you a little story.
Perfect.
My freshman year,
Please, that's what we were hoping for.
my freshman year, I went back row for the OH2. His name was Paul Canlin, and we our skills just kind of meshed together. He was a lot better hitter than I was at the time, and I was a lot better passer than he was. So I found my way on the court. I wasn't the best hitter, but I can pass. So when he went back row, he served, and then I went back row and passed for him. After that year, we fell short. Fell short in the first round of the NCAA tournament. We had a end of the year meeting with Coach Tom, and he goes, "I need you to be the guy," because at that time we lost like 6 key players, and he was like, "I need you to be that guy. I need you to be the guy that we can trust, we can go to." So that summer, I took that to heart, and I worked my butt off because I wanted to be that guy for him. And
awesome.
you know,
Wait,
the next
end of your freshman year, you had this talk?
Yeah. Yep.
So you knew what was expected of you going into your sophomore year then?
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, what was expected of him to be a first team All-American.
Well,
and that's what he did.
I didn't expect that at all. When my brother told me that after our Vassar loss, I was in tears because I didn't know that I was going to be able to achieve that accolade.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And then that just gives you confidence on top of it. Well, we interviewed Coach, and it was such a good pod for us. Just he has quick wit. I'll tell you what, he had us in stitches a couple of times.
Yeah,
really.
And I mean, does he bring that to the court as well? Because he has so much knowledge about the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only one that's won 2 Division I national championships on 2 separate universities, and then a Division III. So we think he's the only one besides Spera, who was a UCLA coach forever, and now he's CEO of USA Volleyball, to do it at 2 different schools. But then now he's got the D3. Pretty special coach you got to experience.
Very. And you know, we've had a lot of like situations where, you know, certain players aren't happy with like playing time, or they're not happy with like how we run things or how coach run things. But then we all just sit back and like, guys, we have an amazing coach. Like, why are we talking back, or like, why are we kind of disagreeing when this guy knows so much about the game? And
because you're in your 20s and you know it all.
Yeah.
We're stubborn.
You're stubborn, and it's a generation of having everything at your fingertips of thinking you guys know more. But like Sully said, we just had him on here recently, and like I mean, I played in the early 90s. We all played in the early 90s. Like, he coached against me in the Final Four in 1993. Like, he was coaching at Penn State, and then turns around a few years back later and goes to BYU and wins a national championship there. And does he bring up any teams ever in the teaching moments for you guys, like players that, you know, maybe have been Olympians that he's coached, to say like, if, you know, such and such could do this, why can't you? Just as an example. Or has he ever brought up his teams on teams that have been special and how to achieve what you guys achieved this year?
Not particularly, but he has brought up to me, like, he's given me examples of the National Player of the Years that he has coached in 91 and then 2003. And he gave me the example so that I can be more humble. And he's a very big believer in it's a team award. And I full-heartedly agree.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do anything without the 6 other guys, the 19 other guys on my team pushing me to be a better person, being a better player. And I know that me getting this National Player of the Year would not have happened without like Setter Garrick, without Justin Madsen passing dimes for us, and without Jimbo, you know, playing defense behind me when I don't get a good block. Like, everybody has a role, and I'm not going to be able to get any of that without them. But
he even mentioned we mentioned congratulations, coach of the year. And he flat out told us, he goes, it really shouldn't be coach of the year. I wish it was staff of the
coaching
year.
staff. Yeah.
And we're like, that's a good way to put it, because he's right.
That's who he is, though. He's right.
Yeah.
It's who he is.
Yeah, for sure. So how big is your school? Let's talk a little bit about Southern Virginia. How big is it? What kind of crowds do you guys get? Because
Introduce us to Buena Vista as well.
Oh, well, Buena Vista is a very small town.
Virginia.
Excuse me. I don't know like the exact numbers of everything, but I'll tell you this: we had a graduating class this past year of 155 students.
Oh,
From Southern Virginia.
Yep, my graduating class was 155, and that was the largest of the university in history. Yep.
Okay.
So that just puts into perspective of how small this university is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we have the best fans. Like, we have the loudest. They come out. Every team supports every other team, and it's really something special at SVU.
You got to tell them about the barn.
Oh, the barn. Have you been there?
No.
No?
But everybody in the stands at the semis and the finals were talking about it. And then everybody's shirts was, protect the barn. This is their gym.
This is our gym.
okay.
But the barn is exactly how it sounds. It's a barn. And, it goes up, and there's these two big tubes going across. Very low ceilings. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, we have the longest home winning streak in NCAA history, I think. Oh. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But
we'll check.
We haven't all my 4 years. I have not lost in the barn.
Wow.
6,600 people in Buena Vista, Virginia.
Yeah, it's very.
You never lost at home?
Nope.
In all your 4 years?
All my 4 years, I never.
How many people does the barn
never
hold?
Lost. Huh?
Wow.
How many people does the barn hold?
Oh gosh.
30?
30.
Just kidding.
155.
No.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
My guess, if I'm guessing, I'm going to say between $2,000 and $4,000. We got DDT checking it, but that's my just guess from the top of it.
We get a decent amount of people there. I don't know the exact numbers, but it gets loud, and it's awesome to play in the barn.
It should be, right? Home court advantage. God, undefeated 4 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's awesome. I mean, what again, some of these things that, we're talking about now, and you were able to listen to at the beginning, in 5 years, in 10 years, let me tell you, in 30 years, when you're sitting here like us three or us four, and you're looking back on those, that's pretty amazing that you're going to look back and say, you're telling your kids, your grandkids, your friends, whatever, I never lost a game playing at the barn ever.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Like, I mean, as great as Long Beach was in those times, as great, everyone lost a game, a match, or maybe two.
Yeah.
Like occasionally you didn't lose one. Wow. Congratulations. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, that's
I got a question for you. You said you were a setter, and you went to middle, and then you went to outside. And you first got on the court by passing. Okay, I was an outside hitter and an oppo, and I could probably jump and hit with the best of them, but I could not pass. Man, passing was so hard for me. How did you? Is it natural for you, or did you work on this? Tell me about how you pass so well to get on the court.
Yeah, so my summers are full of grass volleyball.
Okay.
And I'm going to give everything, my skills of passing, to grass volleyball. I mean, it's exactly like beach. You need to pass, you need to set, you need to hit.
All the
you
skills.
Need to block, you need to serve, yeah. So it's the same. And I continue to play so much grass volleyball over the summers. And, I just build my skills every year. But honestly, having my long arms, and I'm double jointed, so my platform is really flat.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm able to get my elbows together. But yeah, it's just.
Karch does that. Karch has his elbows together. Like
Who's Karch? Yeah, he did okay for himself. Oh yeah, that guy. He was okay.
Come on.
I'm going to, of course, Christian, you better know. I'm going to stop for a second and say what Christian just said. I think it's important because, again, Christian, we started this thing to tell stories and kind of evangelize volleyball. We're going from coaches to players. You're the first player.
Yeah.
We had a former player on here who was an Olympian, Casey Patterson, played at BYU. He said exactly what you said. And he told the youth, if you're going to go do anything this summer, go outside and play on the beach. or the grass. He said it's the most important way for you as a young volleyball player to increase your skill set, especially in the off season. And you just said it, Christian. You're a 3-time first-team All-American. You are the player of the year. You're a national champion. You never lost at home. And what you did was go outside, play 2s, maybe 4s, and learn how to work on your ball control, work on your passing, work on your setting, work on your serving. Awesome. Kudos to you to actually work on your game that way and do that and get better.
Jaden Blanchfield too, when we had her on, right?
Yeah.
She's big in grass. I mean, shoot, I should get Jaden and Christian even talking right now to do a little co-ed playing. She's she just
where's she out of?
Well,
she's legit.
She went to out of Boise, but she played at UNI Division I. So she went to a JC at in Utah, and then she went to UNI, played there, complete utility player.
University of Northern Iowa, just to let them know.
Yeah, Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
And then she went pro overseas, and she was a libero. Then she was an outside, but she was a middle when she was in high school. So she's got, she just loves the game and plays grass all over the country. So I mean, she's a little older than you are, but she's still a stud. I mean, she's still professional. She's just got back from France because of an injury. But yeah, that'd be kind of good. I mean,
I'm sure they would be unbelievable. It is a small world, especially in the grass volleyball community, because again, just like you said about the D3 level, I was curious about volleyball has its own culture too, right? Volleyball is such a great sport for so many reasons. We talk about it. You look at volleyball from up here, right? But then you have your indoor, you have your beach, you have your grass, you have your youth, you have D3, you have NAIA, you have Division I. There's just so much for volleyball and so many stories to tell. So you said what's next for you? You're trying to go overseas, whether it's in Brazil, it's over in Europe. You want to be a pro. Have you ever thought about wearing those 3 letters and trying to make that a dream of yours, playing for the USA team in any way?
You know, I would not be fond to do it. But you know, I don't know how to. That's the big thing. Like, I feel like growing up, it's a lot of just like by your name. Like if you know a lot of people, you know connections. But but
you have a name for yourself now.
It's true. But like the what's his name? He's a middle out of.
He's the head coach. So what I would do is I would say, after we're done here, I think you should pick up the phone and
email
text,
him.
Call him. No email. Call him or text him and say, "Hey, I'm Christian. I'm the Division III Player of the Year, and I want a shot. I mean, I think I want to try out. I don't think that's a far enough question. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say.
3-time first team All-American Bear.
My bad.
Gotta correct
Dude,
that.
speaking of cards, Tom actually talks a lot about cards.
Yeah,
he loves having those stories about cards, and you know how he was so hard on his libero back in the day because he was the only one that he trusts to pass the ball. So, you know, he would bark at him all the time in practice. And this is out of Tom, but he was like, the libero went up to Karch and was like, "Hey, like, why are you so mean to me? Like, what? Like, I need you to chill out a little bit." He was like, "All right, I will, but like, I know you're the guy. Like, it's me and you." Because back then, it was doubles. You basically passed with 3 or 2 people. Correct?
Right.
Yep. That's correct.
So who was the other outside? Because back in the day, there was no libero. Back in Karch, who was the other outside guys?
Berzins in '84, and then it's Stavertlik.
Was it Bob Stavertlik?
Val?
I think it might have been, but it was for the Olympic team, and he was like, "I need you to stop being so hard on me." But no,
the Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey,
well, you know the thing about him, and I'm sure you were like this, Christian, because you were a leader and you're a winner. But like, you wouldn't ask your teammate to do something you wouldn't do, right? Like, and that's the thing about Karch. Like, that's what I love about him is like, he would ask a lot of people, whether he played with you, you coached him, but like, it's not nothing he wouldn't do or what hasn't done or still isn't doing. And so, you know, that's awesome. How's the team going to be next year? I know Coach said you had a bunch of seniors. You're being one of them, being the player of the year leaving. What have you left there in regards to the culture and what's left for Coach for next season?
I think us 9 seniors, we left a really good example of what needs to be done in like the off season, preseason, anything like that. And even during the season, just like staying on top of our grades, staying in the gym. Like, I mean, we have a great strength and conditioning coach, Coach Barney, and just trusting what he has to say and doing it, like not slacking off and just doing it. regarding the team next year, I think they're still going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Similar to my story, I think Brady, especially Brady Dastrup, I think he's gonna step it up. And same with the other outside, Isaac Carrillo. They're gonna mature and realize we don't have those 9 seniors to, fall back on. Like, we're the next guys. So I think I'm really excited to see what they can do. I mean, and they still have a bunch of guys, like our setter and our middle, Jason Wang, Gary Tolman, all that.
Tolman's
and they're bringing,
okay.
Tolman, he's a sophomore, so he still has 2 more years.
Wait a second, Christian.
And,
you look him up.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around a little bit. Like starting at he started at Concordia Irvine, right? Mm-hmm. Then there's a short stop at Benedictine, D3 school out of Chicago over there, and then landed with you guys. So, and he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, somehow that works. I don't know anything about that, but I think because Benedictine Mesa was NAIA, I don't think that counts towards
Benedictine
NCAA.
Mesa, not Benedictine out of Chicago. Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah, so he played at NAIA, he sat right next to his brother. Him and his brother were battling back and forth. So, yeah, and we're also bringing in a great class. I mean, we have a lot of guys from Utah who are big names in the state of Utah. So I'm really excited to see what they have to do. And I'll be watching.
We told Coach I can't wait to watch it, and it's been fun for us, at least for me, and I know Bear and Sully have talked about this too, to watch more matches and be way more engaged in Division III. When we played, again, we're dating ourselves, but this was in the early 90s, and there wasn't really Division III volleyball. There was 25 Division I / Division II / good luck to you kind of teams when we played, to over 300 teams on the Division III level, and it's pretty impressive. I was talking to my former coach that coached me in college, and I was letting him know that last night, and he couldn't believe it when I told him that. Because coach is going to reach out to him because they coached against each other, and I was just giving him a heads up. But it's awesome. So where was the toughest gym you ever played in?
Ooh.
And it doesn't have to be during the tournament, but like on the road for a normal match, going to Springfield, what would be one of the toughest places to play at the Division III level?
Okay, I'm going to give you my top 3.
Please.
First one is going to be the Vassar gym. That gym is loud. Like, it's so small and so compact, and they all have bleachers on one side, but man, they packed that gym and it is loud. That was my sophomore year. We beat Springfield in the first round, and then we lost to Vassar, who was ranked number 1 at the time, in 4. And man, it was a great atmosphere for a home court, but it sucked to play in.
Yeah.
Second one, I'm going to say Springfield this past year. I was not expecting that low of a ceiling, if I'm being honest. It's a lot lower than I thought.
But you're used to that, right?
I am used to that, so I felt
I have a great story about that ceiling, but let's finish your story because I always interrupt.
Okay. But sweet. But yeah, so I mean, they played a great game, and again, a great atmosphere. They had a lot of fans. They were chirping a ton, and I mean, we lost, but that was the best thing that could have happened to our team. And then third one, I'm going to give it to Randolph-Macon. Macon. They have some raunchy fans, and boy, do they get loud.
Yeah.
We didn't experience that this past year, but I experienced that my freshman year, and man, they got loud, and it was pretty fun to play with, like play against and play in that gym. But they had some choice words to say to us, but that's okay.
Because Juniata, when you guys played Juniata, the 2 versus 5, that first match, nationally rankings, that gym didn't look that big either, and it sounded loud, and
it was actually quite interesting, that game, because I felt like we had more fans there than Juniata did. It was interesting.
Hey,
well, your fans travel very well, very well. Yeah.
Hey, Christian, we're going to pivot a little bit. Did you were you able to watch Division I tournament at all? I
saw clips. I didn't watch the full game. I mostly just looked at stats, looked at scoring, but.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to bring somebody on for you.
Okay.
Hopefully he can see him.
Yeah.
Probably won't
be able. Can you see us right now?
I can see Sully. That's it.
All right. Well, I'm going to bring on
Bring him on first.
The head coach from Long Beach State. There's
Agent
Alan Knipe.
Or not
Hi,
Alan Knipe. That's
hi
his son.
Coach Alan Knipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
NCAA
How's everyone doing?
We're doing good. Hey, just
We
to
got
give you a
two. We
heads
got
up-
two winners. We got two winners on here. Yeah.
Hey, just to give you a heads up,
Yeah, well-
Christian's on a tablet and he can pretty much just see me, but he can definitely hear you. So Alan Knipe has joined us for a couple minutes just to talk to you, Christian. Hopefully you don't mind.
Sweet. No, that's a great opportunity. I'm flattered. That's awesome.
Well, Christian, I just want to congratulate you and your team on a great win and a heck of a career. And I know your coach well.
Thank
He's
you.
a good coach, and you guys have done a good
Thank you.
job. And beating Springfield's that's a tough task. Charlie Sullivan does a heck of a job there, and he's had a nice run. So congratulations to you and your team. And it's exciting to watch men's volleyball grow with athletes like you. And I just want to take a moment to jump on with these
Dinosaurs.
This
Knuckleheads.
is the Mount Rushmore of volleyball right here. But
Congrats to you as well. That's amazing.
Well, I don't know if I fit in. I'm in the park looking up at these guys on Mount Rushmore right here. But I do want to make sure let's be serious about this. It's a big deal. It's Bear and Sully and I we're all part of a first championship ourselves, and we know what that means to a university and to an athletic department, and how it can catapult a program into greatness in an athletic department. All of a sudden they take it a little more serious when you come back with some hardware like that. But 4 years, a heck of a career, and just so proud of everything that you guys did. It's pretty impressive. And I know whatever level we're all playing at, whether it's Olympic level, when we're all playing juniors, winning the last game, you're one of one. And congratulations to you and your team, and I'm really proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Coming from you, that's an honor. Thank you so much.
That's right.
That's
Awesome.
my pleasure.
Yeah,
Damn it, Sully.
Yeah, buddy, we know you're
Thanks,
you're
Coach.
busy, man, and appreciate you respond to our text to get on doc this gentleman. And he had like you said, wonderful career. Never lost at home. His team was fantastic.
He didn't
over the
lose
last
at
4
home, Al.
Never.
He went
lost
undefeated
at
for
home.
4 years.
At
I
the
know,
barn.
it's pretty impressive. That's like Coley at the Matadome.
Yeah, we lost a few. We lost a couple.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Kind of.
Not a lot,
really.
but we did
That
lose a
part
few.
is Christian doesn't even know what the Matadome is. So we're gonna move
Yeah,
on.
that's good. Yes, we
We'll
are.
send you a link, Christian. We got you.
Hold
It's where Cal State Northridge plays our home
Yeah.
games.
Well, they
It's
have
where,
a different-
they
it's
have a
where I
different
used to
name.
beat
They
these
have-
guys a lot.
Somehow, because they got a bank sponsor, they're an arena, but now
Yeah.
but
In and out. In and
They
out's
call,
a sponsor.
they call it an arena, and it's still the same gym.
It
And I
is
love
an
the
arena.
gym. It's amazing. But it's a
Christian,
gym,
you
and they call
probably
it an
don't know
arena.
anything about Coley, but he dominated when it was the Matadome. So,
Yes.
but listen, hey,
Well,
let's be serious about it. I really, it's an honor to get on here and chat with anyone who's putting in that kind of effort, because you had to go there and believe in what Tom was preaching, and what what that group, you guys had a vision before it turned into a championship, and all the work that goes into it. We can respect that. Everybody on this group can respect that. So I
Yeah,
just want
for
to make sure
sure.
you understand that as we joke, that it's not a joke. It's congratulations to you and everything for you and your teammates. And make sure when you see Coach Peterson, you tell him I said congratulations too. And I'm really
Will
proud
do.
of you. And I hope to see a lot more of you in the future.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right,
Awesome,
guys.
Al. Thanks for
gonna
coming on.
jump off.
Congratulations
Let
to you.
you guys
Appreciate it.
All right. Good luck.
Awesome.
See ya.
So yeah.
Wow.
There you go, Christian. How about that, huh?
How about
And
sweet?
DDT,
That was awesome.
Coach
Thank you,
Knipe.
guys.
Yeah,
That wins the
Dave
national
December.
championship last night and jumps right in here to jump in, and kudos to you. But again, greatness game recognizes game is a good way to say it. And listen,
Yep.
Christian, what you've done is all joking aside, like he said, is tremendous. I mean, you were a kid that grew up in Pennsylvania that wanted to play college volleyball, and you played college volleyball. You played at the same university for 4 years. You went to tournament after tournament after tournament, and you won the national championship. And you walk out in your last match ever a champion.
Yep.
Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible.
First ever.
Yeah. It was an amazing feeling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But you touched a little bit on losing to Springfield. Was that your only
Mhm.
loss of the year?
That was our only loss.
And,
Yeah.
and you said that was a good thing. Can you
That
go
was
into
a-
that a little bit?
It wasn't, yeah, of course. It wasn't just a good thing. It was the best thing that could have happened to us. Because before that game, our heads were way too big. And we were like, oh, we're number one, we're number two, going back and forth with NYU. And we walked into that gym way overconfident, and they took it to us. And it made us sit back and think, oh, crap, like, we're not who we think we are. We got to put in a lot more work. So, you know, once we get back to Buena Vista, we were like, all right, we got to be in the gym 15 minutes early, like before everybody. And we're warming up so that we can start right at 4, have a good solid practice from 4 to 6. And, you know, we worked harder in the weight room because we were pissed. That was one of my teammates. He's told me that was the first loss we've had in 2 years that it didn't end our career, our season.
The season ending.
So I was like, you know what? You're right. So we took that with that fire and that energy, and we put it into practice. We put it into the weight room, like recovery, and just everything, every aspect. And come finals, we were prepared for them, and it was a revenge game for us.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what Coach Peterson said the same thing when we interviewed him. He talked about losing and it being the best thing that ever happened to him, and he talked about that just not just for your team, especially for your team, but just in general about, you know, when you lose matches, you lose games, you play terrible, whatever it is, those are learning moments, and those are times for you to reflect, gather your intel from whatever it be, and change or adapt or tweak, right? It's all of those things. And for you to lose a match like that, thinking you were the best and get your asses kicked, to turn around, I mean, that's really the best way to put it. And then to prepare the right way and be hungry, right? Like it made you hungry again, is what Coach said. And you guys obviously didn't look back and went on a tear.
Yeah, we asked him, was it a humbling moment for your team, or did they get hungry? Because there's a difference, right? And they both can work. He's like, they definitely became hungry. Yeah. And that's what it sounds like, exactly what you just said. We got in the gym, we got refocused, and you guys came out with more fire than before, and you had your revenge match. And why not do it in a national stage?
Yeah.
Christian, let me ask you this. So two losses in only the last 2 seasons. I mean, obviously we just talked about the one, but he also talked about the one in the quarterfinals. You guys are undefeated the year before. We asked him for some stories on you, and he said, you got to ask him about your brother. And I know you alluded to it, but there's that clip out there of the final point where your teammate is picking your brother up off the floor. He said, he kind of hinted that might have been the beginning of like getting you guys ready, but two different timing of 2 different losses, but they still put you on the same path, obviously the ultimate outcome. But any differences there?
Oh man, I mean, again, like I said, it was a season-ending loss for us in the quarterfinals against NYU, and Tyler, my brother, was the only senior last year. I mean, we did have 2 other people that were going on their mission, so they were leaving the team as well, but it hurt because everybody on the team wanted to do it for him because he was our guy. And it just destroyed him. And we were actually just talking about that today, that loss, and he couldn't walk. He said, like, it just hurt him so bad, and it hurt each and every one of us, but it made it worse seeing his reaction to it, his emotions. But going to the Springfield loss, we had the same emotions. Like I mean, we're all athletes here. It sucks to lose. That's one of the worst feelings.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We hate it. We all hate it.
We all hate it.
It's awful.
Exactly. So, but it's different because we were able to continue our game and like give us redemption, like redeem ourselves and prove ourselves even more. So I would say that's the difference.
So
go ahead.
Your brother didn't win it. You won it this year.
Yeah.
He was a huge reason, as you know, and I'm sure he knows this, even though it's hard probably for him to comprehend it right this second, but he was a huge reason you guys won. obviously he must have been overjoyed for you. How's he handling it? Like, is he, obviously he's excited, but is he still bummed, going, shit, could have been me? Or how does he feel about it? Let me tell you, I lost in 93 and I still aren't over it. So he's going to have it forever. But to see his team win the next year and his brother win must have been pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, we were all doing it for him. We were doing it for our entire alumni group that we have, but yeah, I'm sure he's bummed that he couldn't be there with me and experience that moment with me on the court, but he still experienced it off the court. And I was the first person I went to hug after the game, and I hosted the trophy with him. And I know a lot of the guys, it's not just me, a lot of the guys, they like did the same exact thing. It was like within the 5 minutes after the game, shaking hands with Springfield and receiving our little awards, we all went and hugged Tyler, because even though he's not on the roster, he was still a key asset to our team, like being at almost every game of ours, supporting us, and like giving tips to Gehrig, our setter, just to what things he can do to run a little better offense, and just he was still a part of our team in our hearts. So.
It's very parallel to Bear, myself, and Al. We lost it to USC. And then got the hunger. And then the next year we beat USC. And we had two guys, Robert Cooch and Mark Cairns, same thing. They were the backbone for a number of years, and they just couldn't do it. You know, the first time around, they graduated. And sure enough, it sounds like very parallel stories and a lot of emotions, a lot of history there. We're all still tight today.
But one thing I'm going to say on that, Christian, and this is something awesome, and it goes, so we just had Coach Knipe on here, and they won the national championship. Yeah. These three guys on here, Sully, Bear, and DDT, they're a reason why those guys won too. And the cool thing is you're going to be a reason in 10 years and 15 and 20 years when they win again. You're the reason for that. And that's something that Coach Knipe, Al, has never ever forgot about with these guys. They paved the way, just as the ones before they did in 91 to get that title. So, you know, you're always going to be a part of that university. Your brother was there because he was just there last year and he was so new. But in 2 or 3 or 5 years from now, you're the first team to ever win a national championship for volleyball at that school. And you are forever going to be ingrained in that. And your brother was part of that, right? Like, and he didn't actually win that season, but he was part of it. And the next title they win, you're going to be part of it, right? And so it's just really cool to hear that about your brother and the team embracing him for that. And again, like for these guys right here on here, they won the national championship last night. Long Beach State won, they won, right? You know, and it's awesome. So pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Hey, Christian, we appreciate you coming on, man, being the first collegiate athlete to come on here. D3 NCAA Player of the Year and all the other accolades we had on here. Christian Schaefer, thanks for coming on Set the Pipe, man. And we wish you well in the next stages. And we said the volleyball world's small. You may run into us old men out there, and just make sure you don't squeeze us too hard when we get a big hug from you, all right?
I'll make sure. Thank you guys so much.
Coming on Set the Pipe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christian.
Really appreciate you, Christian. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, and good luck with you too.
Thank you.
In your future. Yeah.
Thank you.